Praise be to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Lakakadash, the Bohana to the elder and the apostle of Gutimiston. Peace and blessings, salutation to the Akim, pushing this truth to the holiness of the heaven. It is your brother from Central Africa coming to you with this precept again. So, this news here say Israel is threatened to preemptively defend itself against Iran. This is going to the Amalekite being the least of the flock among Edom, and basically, to be technical, this Amalekite will draw Esau into Odious 3, man. When I'm talking about the Amalekite, I'm talking about even the elite, man, the Rockefeller, the Rothschild, and those peons who dwell in the land of Israel, man. So let's go to the scripture direct, man. This is Jeremiah 49:20. Therefore hear the counsel of the Lord that he have taken against Edom, and his purpose that he has purposed against the inhabitant of Timon. Surely the least of the flock shall draw them out. Surely he shall make the habitation desolate with them. So this Odious is going to be started by the Amalekites, man. Nobody can deny that, man. The elite, man. They are praying the Most High like now, man. They are praying both sides, man. They are praying on the Russian side, they are praying on the American side. They are praying on Iran, they are praying on North Korea, man. This elite, man, to draw Esau or Babylon, man, into this Odious 3, in which in this Odious 3, the land of America will be desolate, man, and some part of Europe, man, and Asia. So let's just go to Jeremiah 50, man, the hot file. Therefore here is the counsel of the Lord, the same thing that he have taken against Babylon. So this is repetition, man. The prophets are all about repetition, man. And that's why you see certain brothers doing lesson over and over and over and over again. Because in Esau tell you repetition is the mother of study, man. Through repetition, man, you can understand certain prophecy, man. It happened to me. I didn't understand the breakdown of the 12 tribal side, man, until a lot of repetition, man. Then I was able to swallow that breakdown, man, as it is, man, to swallow that bitterness part of this truth, man. Because to me, the tribal side was a bitter part of this truth, man. I don't want to talk about that right now. So let's continue. Let's start. As a matter of fact, let's start at verse 43. The king of Babylon has heard the report of them, and his hand waxed feeble. Anguish took hold of him, and pang as a woman in travail. So, like the apostle says, man, and the elders, that this truth, or the scripture, sometimes they can be provocative, man. So the Lord here is calling Esau, making a joke to Esau that they will be like women in that day, man. So, verse 44, behold, he shall come up like a lion from the swelling of Jordan unto the habitation of the strong man. Who was the strong man? The NATO, EU, and America. But I'll make them suddenly run away from her, and who is the chosen man? That appoint on her, for who is like me, and who will appoint me the time, and who is that shepherd that will stand before me? Therefore hear ye the counsel of the Lord Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, that he has taken against Babylon, his purpose that he has purposed against the land of the Chaldean. Surely the least of the flock, another verse, shall draw them out, surely shall make the habitation desolate to see them. And as the noise of taking Babylon, the earth is moved, and the cry is heard among the nations, man. So who was the least of the flock, man? The Amalekite, the elite, man. Because many among the elite come from the Amalekite, man, the chief prince of the house of Esau, man. Those people make Esau go to war, man, because they control Esau, man. The Amalekite, man. It's like Judah on Israel, man. If Judah wake up, all the tribe will fall, man. So that's it, man. When is the list of the flock draw Esau or Babylon into this war, what will happen? Let's go to Habakkuk 3. And as a matter of fact, I wanted to do a breakdown in Habakkuk 3. Let us see, man, this is a terrible vision of Habakkuk, man, the prophet upon Shignot, man. This is Habakkuk 3 and 1. A prayer of Habakkuk, the prophet upon Shignot, man. The Lord Yahweh, I have heard thy speech, and I was afraid. O Lord, revive thy work in the midst of the year. In the midst of the year, make known. In land wrath, remember mercy. So Habakkuk saw the destruction which is coming, man, and he asked himself, man, for this destruction, I don't see any flesh will be saved, man. But according to the mercy of Yahweh, Hashem is the elect will be delivered, man. The one said. So that was the prayer of Habakkuk. Let's continue. God came from Timam, the whole one from Mount Paran, man. So we were talking about Timam back then. And in another scripture, we were talking about Timam, man. The list of the flock will make the land, the Timam and Babylon desolate, man. And in which is a Timam we believe through the spirit of Yahweh Hashem Yahshua as a German, man. So as a whole, that's talking about Europe. And the whole one from Mount Paran, Selah. His glory covered the heaven, and the earth was full of his praise. And his brightness was as a light, his horn coming out of his hand, and there was the hiding of his power. So the horn is talking about powers, man, which come out from that chariot. Before him went the pestilence, talking about those sulfur and the brimstone, man, which come out of the chariot. And that pressure, man, he'll come like a hungry lion, man. He'll be accompanied with earthquake and noises and everything, man, and the tornadoes, man. He stood and measured the earth. He beheld and drove asunder the nation. So this is after the list of the flock to draw Babylon to this war, man. This is what will happen, man. The Lord will come again, man. And the everlasting mountain were scattered. What is the everlasting mountain? This great kingdom like America, and Russia, and China. Afterward, you will see nobody is going to be the next superpower. It's a perpetual hill in the bone, talking about the hills, these small nations, man. His ways are everlasting. I saw the tents of Cushan in affliction. As you go to Cushan, this is talking about the Arab, man. And the curtain of the land of Midian did claim the same things, the Arab, man. This Cushan is not talk about Cush, man. I looked this name the other time. It's not talking about Cushi. You brother can correct me if I'm wrong about that. Was the Lord displeased against the rivers? Was thy anger against the river? Was thy wrath against the sea? That thou didst slide upon thy horse and thy chariot of salvation. So it's talking about the sea, it's talking about people, talking about the rivers, man. It's talking about different things, man. It can be talking about little rivers. It can be talking about peoples, man. The bow was made quite naked, according to the oath of the tribe, even thy word Selah. Thou did cleave the earth with rivers, man. The mountains saw thee, and they trembled. The overflow of water passed by the deep, uttered his voice, and lifted up his hand on high. So this verse is very it's very deep, man. The sun and the moon stood still in their habitations. So, man, they talk about wisdom and understanding of the wise men of Timam, man. And the Amalekite, man, we stood still, man. The mark of the beast and everything, and their charmers, their prognosticator, their mercy, the mercy prognosticator, their charmers, man, their stargazers, man, their wisdom, we stood still, man, and at the light of thy arrow they went, at the shining of thy glittering spear. What is a glittering spear? The missiles, man. The missiles. You go to the book of Job, talking about the same glittering spear. Thou didst march through the land in indignation, thou didst thresh the heathen in danger. Thou wantest force for the salvation of thy people, even for salvation of the anointed. Thou woundest the head out of the house of the weak, by discovering the foundations of the neck self. Thou didst strike through with his staff the head of the village. They come out as a hurrying to scatter. Their rejoicing was as they devour the poor secretary. Thou didst walk through the sea with thy horses, through the heap of great water.
When I heard, my belly trembled, my lips quivered at the voice. Naughtiness entered in my bone, and I trembled in myself. I might rest in the day of trouble. When he comes up unto the people, he will invade them with his troops. So this is to see, this is to tell you Habakkuk will be here in incarnation. You see, although the fig tree shall not blossom, neither shall fruit be in the vine, the labor of the oil shall fall, and the field shall yield no meat. The flock shall be cut off the field from the fold, and there shall be no herd in the stall. Yet I will rejoice in the Lord, I will joy in the God of my salvation. So Habakkuk will be here, man. That's why he said in the second verse, remember mercy, and here he's saying he rejoices in the salvation of Yahweh. Man. Habakkuk died a long time ago. What salvation? This is talking about reincarnation, man. You people, you peons who don't believe in reincarnation. That's a cut, man. And the Lord God is my strength, and he will make my feet like hinds feet, and he will make me to walk upon my high place, the chief singers of my string instrument, man. So this was it, man. So after reading all of this, let us go to see this. He called himself the last American vagabond, man. Even the name itself is very spiritual, man. Because Esau Widomite are considered to be vagabond, man. So they are the last vagabond, the last American vagabond, the vandals and the pilot, man, and who came to the northern kingdom to rape, murder, and steal, man. So let's go direct into this one, to this video, man.
Anti-war. Israel says preparing to join U.S. war against Iran. Join U.S. war against Iran, as well as essentially saying they're willing to preemptively attack Iran should they need to defend themselves, because that makes sense.
So this Israelites there in the land of Israel, this Israeli, they are not Israelites, they are Israeli, Jewish. They are the least of the flock, man. They will draw Babylon to this great war, man. And then Habakkuk 3, which I read to you, it will ensue, man. It will herald.
Now, while all major powers and signatories to the JCPOA are cautioning Iran in the wake of its declared uranium enrichment ramp-up, there's been a blame game already emerging, as was the plan, and just as I and many others said would happen. We're not psychic. It's just very obvious to see the same old routines and the same old playbook they use over and over. Now, earlier this week, Israel's foreign minister went so far as to say Israel may, quote, act alone to prevent Iran from acquiring nuclear weapons. Which, by the way, they're verifiably not doing so, even close to getting even near it. But of course, here's Israel saying, we may just have to bomb them anyway, by ourselves, out of nowhere, to stop them from doing something everybody else has proven they're not doing. While China's reaction was very different, slamming U.S. policy and its maximum pressure campaign as the root cause of the current tensions, which they're completely right. That doesn't mean I'm supporting China or believe in everything China has to say ever. Always somebody out there with the hyper-polarized view, but it means that what they said there, no matter who said it, is correct. The root cause of all of this can be traced back to actions made by the United States and Israel, as even members of Congress and people in very powerful positions are very clearly saying today. If you've never even heard that that's happening, ask yourself why, and maybe start watching something other than mainstream media. Now, Tel Aviv has remained the most bellicose and deceptive in reaction to Iranians' enrichment activity. Israeli Foreign Minister Israel Katz told Israel Army Radio that the Jewish state would not, quote, allow Iran to obtain nuclear weapons, even if it has to act alone on that. Same thing. It's just ridiculous. Knowing that they're not doing that, verified so by many groups, Lies shown repeatedly by Netanyahu, by Pompeo, by Bolton, but here they are just saying, well, they're definitely getting nuclear weapons, even though we can't prove it, and everything we have shows the opposite. Even people within our own administration have admitted, yeah, they're not really doing that. But we just don't talk about that stuff. Even if they have to act alone, oh, how noble of you to act alone and murder an entire, what a stupid thing to say. It sells only for people that are blinded by the propaganda. Now, Israeli Foreign Minister Katz says the country is continuing to encourage Trump to press ahead against Iran, right? Because we're not escalating against Iran, right? We're not focused on Iran. We're not targeting Iran. We're just worried about their actions. But here he comes out and says, please continue to press ahead against Iran, right? It's just so funny how obvious what they're doing. They're focused on Iran. They want to get action from Iran. They want to take over Iran. They've said these things countless times. It's so abundantly clear. If you even just listen to what they actually say outside of their mainstream talking points in front of the press. They encourage him, press ahead against Iran. But they're also concerned Iran might accidentally stumble out of a limited war into a full military military action. And here's what's frustrating about this, is to say that Iran might themselves accidentally stumble into us bombing them. Whoops. That's basically what they're saying. But it's not within their power to not bomb them when they make a certain action, even if that action may not be what it seems. That's what they're saying. Oh, well, Iran may do something that forces us to bomb them. That's not our fault. He says, quote, we must be prepared for this. And thus the state of Israel continues to devote itself to building up its military might for the event that it will have to respond to escalation scenarios, Katz added. This type of aggressive talk, framed as self-defense, is a classic move by the Israeli government, and one that the U.S. has seemed to master in recent years. Now, Netanyahu just said on Monday that Israel's strategy is to increase the number of reserve units and move the battle onto the enemy's field. Right? Not because you're attacked, but because they're the enemy. And because of the enemy, they will attack one day. So us attacking them now is self-defense. I'm not even kidding. This is the perverse logic that Israel openly puts out. He said, quote, our country is a small one, but when we are forced to defend ourselves, there it is, we must move the battle to a wider field. The enemy's field. Now, of course, if that means they attacked you 2 years ago and you invade them today, well, we're defending ourselves. Or if you think they may one day attack, yeah, we're defending ourselves. It's all the same logic. And we've seen this by their own actions. Now, Netanyahu said that the Israeli army is relatively large, and that when it is needed, we have to expand our land. He says we have to expand our land to keep up with the increase in our forces. Really, hear what he just said there. He says, well, we have a large army. So when it's needed, we have to expand our borders, our land, to keep up with our increase in our troops. That's no different than the U.S. saying, well, we have a growing population, we're going to have to take some of your land, Mexico. Well, we got to because we're growing. How does this make sense to anybody other than Israel? Really wrap your mind around the ridiculous logic they're using here. Same with they're always defending themselves even when they're attacking, or all the different things they continue to do that only apply to them, such as nuclear ambiguity. Does anybody else have the right to just say, well, we're not going to discuss what nuclear arsenal we have? As the U.S. is using that same talking point to go after its adversaries. It's just makes your head spin. It's not hard to see what that really means, what Netanyahu's saying right there. Framed as the reluctant hero, gee, sure wish I didn't have to steal your land from you, but we've got more troops now, so we need more land. So we're taking your land, but it's...
Salaki Blaza, the internet is giving me a hard time. So I think that is enough. You can look at this channel. It's a very good channel, man. if we want to be a good watchman, man, this is the last American vagabond. He bring all the news in the Middle East, Venezuela, Europe, and everywhere. There is this, there is Double 4, there is the Florida Marcus, Paul Begley is also Edomite, man. You can look on them, man. So I hope the lesson was edifying. Until next time, shalom.